They thought the colony was abandoned. The distress beacon had been silent for months. But when we arrived, the lights were on. The humans weren't running. They were working. And the graveyard, stretching across the ice, was full of monsters they had killed. Massive, intelligent, impossible things. And somehow, the humans were still standing. The K-Leith survey vessel descended through Europa Station's thin atmosphere like a silver needle threading cosmic fabric. Commander Ryloth watched the ice-carved settlement materialize on the view screen, expecting ruins. The automated distress beacon had been silent for 6 months. Every xenological protocol suggested abandonment. Instead, lights glowed in the dome clusters. Thermal signatures showed active power grids. Smoke rose from industrial stacks, curling against the pale Jovian sky. "Life signs?" Ryloth asked, mandibles clicking uncertainty. "Confirmed," his scanner operator replied. 2,000 humans, standard colony population. They are working. Working. Not fleeing. Not dead. Ryloth felt his sensory frills flatten against his skull. In 3 decades of surveying human territories, he had learned one absolute truth. When humans stayed silent and kept working, something had gone catastrophically wrong. The K-Leith were not conquerors. They were cartographers, documentarians of the Spiral Arm's younger species. Ryloth had catalogued 14 human colonies across the outer system. He had seen their art, their architecture, their desperate, beautiful defiance of entropy. But he had also seen what they buried. "Deploy atmospheric analysis probes," he ordered. "Standard survey protocol. We document and leave." The probes descended on whisper drives, sampling air composition, radiation levels, biological markers. Ryloth studied the colony layout through magnification arrays, agricultural domes, residential clusters, a central command structure with communication arrays that should have been screaming into the void. Then he saw the graveyard. It sprawled across the southern plateau like a wound in the ice, covering nearly 2 square kilometers. Marker stones jutted from permafrost in perfect rows, thousands of them, maybe tens of thousands. But the shapes were wrong. The proportions defied human burial customs. "Magnify Section 7, Ryloth commanded, his voice dropping to a subsonic rumble that betrayed K-Leith unease. The image resolved. His entire bridge crew went silent. The graves were enormous. Each marker indicated a burial site, 12 to 15 meters in length. And the inscriptions, carved in human standard script, impossible to misread, told a story that turned Ryloth's blood cold. Designation: Breach Form, Alpha 47. Neutralized, March 22, 47. Human Casualties, 23. Designation: Void Hunter Prime. Neutralized, June, 22, 47. Human Casualties, 71 row after row, month after month, each marker a testament to something killed, not something mourned. Each date stamp a battlefield. Ryloth scrolled through the visual data, his mind refusing to process the mathematics. If every grave represented one entity neutralized, then the humans had been fighting a war against thousands of individual nightmares. And winning. "Commander," the scanner operator whispered, "Probe 7 is detecting organic compounds in the burial sites, exoskeletal fragments, and silicon-based tissue, chemical signatures we have never encountered. They are unlike anything in our xenobiology databases." Ryloth zoomed to the northern edge of the graveyard. The newest section. The markers were larger, more recent. One grave stood apart from the others, surrounded by scorched earth where nothing would grow for centuries. Designation: Convergence Entity, neutralized. Last week. Human Casualties, 340. Note: It learned to open doors. Ryloth felt his respiratory system lock. It learned to open doors. Past tense. Neutralized. The humans had killed something intelligent enough to adapt, massive enough to require a crater for burial, and recent enough that the radiation signatures were still hot. "Sir," his tactical officer said carefully, "we are detecting energy signatures from the colony perimeter. Defense arrays, on kinetic barriers. They are active. They are pointed outward, not at us. Pointed outward. At the ice fields. At the places between the stars where things might crawl through dimensions the Kalith could barely theorize. The humans were not hiding from the galaxy. They were holding a line the galaxy did not know existed. Ryloth made a decision that would define his career. Recall all probes. Immediate departure. We were never here." "Commander?" his second asked, confused. "Should we not offer assistance? Medical supplies? They have lost hundreds. They have lost hundreds," Ryloth interrupted, his voice sharp. "And they are still here, still working, still fighting. We have nothing they need, and everything they protect us from." The Kalith vessel rose through the atmosphere, its sensors recording everything, its archives sealing the data behind clearance levels that would gather dust for generations. Below, in Europa Station's command center, Director Nadia Kurtz watched the alien ship depart on long-range tracking. "They saw the graveyard," her second-in-command observed. Kurtz nodded, exhaustion carved into every line of her face. "Good. Maybe next time the Galactic Council debates whether humanity deserves a seat at their table, they will remember what we bury so they can sleep soundly." She turned back to the tactical displays, where new void signatures bloomed at the edge of sensor range. Another shift, another war, another chance to make sure the monsters stayed in the graveyard where they belonged. If you found this story compelling, share it with others who appreciate humanity's quiet battles. Subscribe for more tales of survival written in scars and gravestones, and join the discussion about what it means to be the guardians no one asked for, but everyone needs.